Fair use, by the way. Fair use. Here we're going to have Kevin Hart on an interview with Charlamagne Tha God. The caption says that he regrets throwing shots at Katt Williams over Tiffany Haddish when Katt Williams was had his opinion on Tiffany Haddish in the year. What year was this? Yeah, this was 2018. Yep, this was 2018 when he made that mistake. Anyways, we'll hear it from Kevin Hart and we'll see if he actually regrets it or if it's just the caption just trying to put Kevin Hart in a good light. I hope I hear an apology.
I think there's probably one moment where I've actually talked about Katt publicly, and this was when
I think it was on Breakfast Club.
It was the Tiffany Haddish,
yeah,
Tiffany,
yep.
And this was like we were promoting Night School, and Tiffany was affected by some of the things he said, and it was more of a like support for her in that moment, and like some shots at him.
Fair use, by the way. Fair use, by the way. Fair use again.
Regret that?
Yeah, I shouldn't even talk. I should never address him at all. I don't have to. But like, why? What will it do for me? What will I gain? I think there's probably one.
Well, I don't like the way he said that at the end, where it's like, oh, I wouldn't even have addressed him. I shouldn't have even addressed him. I hope you guys caught that. Well, first, I know the ladies definitely caught that. I know the ladies caught that, but I hope you guys caught that at the end. It's not like I don't think he actually regrets it in terms of he feels sorry that he does it. He just feels that he's still above Katt in some way. Because I guess because Kevin Hart is the most famous comedian in the world. That doesn't mean he's the best comedian in the world, but he's the most. You can say he's probably the most famous, right? He's basically Kevin Hart to me is the Drake of the comedy world, right? So Drake might be the most famous rapper, one of the more famous rappers out of the bunch, right? Probably the most famous rapper out of the bunch, but that does not mean he's the best. That just means he has better PR, better marketing. Probably made a couple of deals with some inner circles, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. But hearing Kevin Hart say what he say, I didn't like how he said that at the end. Because in 2018, you went on the Breakfast Club. I remember that interview. It was you and Tiffany, y'all came on together, and you was taking shots at Katt Williams. You was taking shots, and you was lying on his name, and you was foul for that. And you really should address, hey, I didn't know what I was talking about. I was just trying to be a big brother to Tiffany Haddish because I felt like this is what Kevin Hart should have said. He should be like, look, I apologize to Katt Williams. I thought I was being a big brother to Tiffany Haddish because I felt like, oh, you were taking unfair criticisms at her comedy chops, and I went too far. I'm sorry. That's what really Kevin Hart should have said. But the way he says it, he's like, why should I even address him? Like the way he says it is almost like he feels like he's still above Katt. If anybody with any common sense or some kind of integrity should already get the feeling or the vibes that you're not above Katt. You're still not. You might be the Steve Harvey of our generation, but you're not our king. Hey, Steve Harvey went through that, right? Steve Harvey, yeah, he was the guy, he was the more famous guy, but he was not our king. Bernie Mac was. Bernie Mac was our king. You for TV, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's just what you are. You're rated P. You're rated G. You're rated PG. You're for you corporate. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you're not the king. You're not the king. And Kevin Hart is definitely, when it comes to his comedy chops, I don't consider him over Katt Williams. No. Now, when it comes to money and all that, maybe. We will never really know how much Katt Williams really makes, but Katt Williams has the respect of the people. Now, when it comes to you, Kevin Hart, I don't know. You went on that 2018 interview in the Breakfast Club talking crazy about Katt. Talking crazy. And another person I want to give a shout out to, if I can. Wait, let me see if there must have been another clip.
It means that.
Oh man, there was another clip. Sorry guys. There's another clip to this. So let's play this before I even go in. But shout out to Mike Epps, the comedian Mike Epps, that called out Kevin Hart indirectly. He didn't say his name, but indirectly called out Kevin Hart for lying on Katt Williams and said, look, stop acting cute, because the same industry that you're defending right now, that same industry could put you down. Like like you're nothing, like they did to Bill Cosby. And ironically, it was interesting. Right after that Mike Epps interview, Kevin Hart's world with the industry almost fell apart. He got into that mysterious accident, remember? Or like, remember he was supposed to host the Oscars and then they took it away because of some tweets in 2011. The same industry that he was defending, because Katt Williams was telling the truth about what the industry does and how they pick their stars. Kevin Hart was doing a lot of caping for Hollywood, and then they repaid him back by removing him from hosting the Oscars over some tweets from 2011. That was hilarious to me. That was a crazy bit of irony. But anyway, let this next clip play. I'm sorry, guys. Let's hear this play.
Somebody put you in this position, and press the button, and that's the guy.
Yeah. So when I say, what does that mean? Like, what are we talking about? So if that's the case, if success is that easy, how many different versions of that would you see to date? And by the way, wouldn't those be the stories that we're highlighting because they're all false? Like, if that's the case, I mean, some things get so ridiculous that catch on. It's astronomically insane to process.
It means that somebody.
What the hell did he just say? He was not even making. Kevin Hart made no sense right here. His explanation right here did not make any sense. Let's see. Is there another clip to follow? See, Kevin Hart responds after Katt Williams calls him an industry plant and gatekeeper. Got to get that anger out of your champ. Blah blah blah. Oh, okay. But yeah. Kevin Hart is a gatekeeper. Usually, particularly when it comes to black comedians, or they'll pick like one black comedian to be like the gatekeeper. And what happens is, because Kevin Hart is the representatives, he basically gets to pick the people that he likes or doesn't like to get certain opportunities. You know what I mean? So, a lot of your favorite black comedians that you see is because Kevin Hart, or you see them on certain shows or certain people, is because Kevin Hart greenlighted them, or people of Kevin Hart's camp greenlighted them, right? So there's something to what Katt's saying on that end. But listen to Kevin Hart's explanation one more time. That made absolutely no sense.
Put you in this position, and press the button, and that's the guy.
So when I say, what does that mean? Like, what are we talking about? So if that's the case, if success is that easy, how many different versions of that would you see to date? And by the way, wouldn't those be the stories that we're highlighting because they're all false?
What? Maybe I missed it, but I don't even know what he meant by that. I have no idea what he meant by that last sentence he said. But when people talk about Kevin Hart being an industry plant, they're not saying that you didn't put no work in. They're just saying they selected you for a reason. They allowed you to rise for a reason. There's certain people, they rise, they say the cream rises to the top, but a lot of it is artificially, a lot of it is artificial. And you can tell. I always say, you can tell Katt Williams is a real one. The reason why I say that is because you see how Katt Williams is always like getting arrested, always got a mugshot. But he never goes to, but it's like he's never in prison. He's always like in a holding cell, but they always got him in a mugshot. He's always getting just arrested out of nowhere. When you see stuff like that, or him just being on the news for just having a parking ticket, that's how you know he's a real one. That's how you know, because people that are really in the in crowd, they have people that can protect them where certain stuff doesn't go to the news. This is why I always caution people when you hate on certain athletes or certain entertainers. I say the ones that you see that's OD in trouble like that, meaning everything that goes wrong in their life, it gets put on blast. That person might not be the enemy that you think he is, because usually they have people that can shield them from that. There's a reason why they're putting this on blast. You know what I mean? So these are the things, you got to watch out. That's why I always say Terrell Owens, Allen Iverson, right? Mario Balotelli. Those were my favorite athletes growing up, but Kevin Hart is definitely one of the people that have been selected because he's safe, and there's nothing wrong with being safe. We're just saying that's the reason why, he was selected. It's not a matter of, somebody just pushed a button and pressed this and you're success. No, and everybody knew you were in the comedy world. We already knew you was acting. Everybody knew who Kevin Hart was in the black world or in the black entertainment world. Nobody's saying that he didn't put in no work. We're just saying that they basically selected you to be the face of comedy, or just the face of black entertainment in general. And when they make these kind of selections, they take everything into account: who you are, what you're willing to give up, what you're willing to do. When we talk about black comedians wearing dresses and all that, what you're willing to do, what you're willing to bend to. And Katt Williams has been one of the few in the industry that's willing to call out certain people in power, to speak truth to power. He's been one of the very few people in the industry that's, you know, that's done that. So this is why he's very well respected. This is why he's, you know, comedians really don't even want no smoke with him. Steve Harvey tried that one time and he lost like really badly. So these are the things that the people we talk about. And Kevin Hart, you have proven throughout with your actions, with some of the stuff that you do. Even I'm not saying Kevin Hart is an evil person. That's not what I'm saying. But you're not of the people. Kevin Hart, you're not for the people. That's my opinion. I could be wrong about that, but especially when I saw that interview you did with Tiffany Haddish in 2018, where you were really talking down on Katt and bigging up Hollywood and acting like what Katt Williams was saying about the entertainment industry had no weight. That was alarming to me. That was very alarming to me. You know what I mean? At that time, that was very alarming to me. But anyways, you know, that's just my opinion. You know, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. What you think about Katt Williams, what you think about Kevin Hart, Charlamagne Tha God. That's another person that I don't trust. There was at one time I thought Charlamagne Tha God was one of the funniest people, if not the funniest person on radio at one point. But his industry plant side, you know, you know what I mean when I say like he's shown his true colors over the past, I'll say the past 6 to 7 years, and I don't like what I see. But that's just my opinion also of that as well. But let me know what you think.